Hello, everybody, and welcome to Smack the Markets Trading Room Weekly Market Wrap for weekend in the 14th of September. Now, this week we've had a fair amount of news out that's created quite a bit of volatility in the markets. We've had Europe and UK interest rate decisions. No major change there, but we have had quite a dose of Brexit news, which has created quite a bit of Brexit volatility in the markets too. On top of that, we've had the US dollar turn into a downtrend, which has now sort of created some of the some turnaround in some of those longer running trends that we've been interested in. Nevertheless, it's sort of felt like hard work this week. It's been a little bit more tougher than usual because of that volatility, and we've taken slightly more trades than average than what we would normally take in the room. We've managed to close out around 2% gain for the week, which is, I suppose, not the best, but it is a gain, and we have at least one trade holding open overnight. So let's take a look at the trades that we've taken here in the trading room. So the first one here is Euro AUDs. This was at the beginning of the week on the 10th. It was a swing long trade. Now, this market we'd been trading for quite some time in the trading room. This was an earlier trade that we took last week. This was the trade that we took this week. It was a break of this sort of level on the 4-hour time frame, but in actual fact, we executed this on an intraday time frame. We entered it on the 15-minute chart so that we could get a tighter trade and increase the reward to risk. So this was the entry point here. It was a break of this level on the 15-minute chart with our stop behind the previous low. This was first target here. The first blue line was first target. As the trend continued, we moved the stop up behind the next sort of swing low, so this point here. Second target, once that had been reached, we moved the stop up to the next swing higher low, and the market sort of rallied on, just took into the third target before the trend broke. The next trade that we took here was Aussie Swiss. So Aussie Swiss was a swing short. This one we took on a 15-minute time frame again. So it was a swing time frame, swing decision on this trade. So it was a break of this candle here, this bearish candle that was on the 4-hour time frame, and we were looking for the downtrend here to continue. We'd been trading Aussie Swiss again quite a bit here over the past few weeks. Now, the trade entry was here on the 15-minute time frame. It was a break of this level, this red level here, which later became our stop. So we waited for the break, pull back into the moving averages, got positioned here with our stop just above that break level, and we were looking for at least a move down to the blue line here, which is our first target. As you can see, the market narrowly missed our target before coming back to being a stop out trade. The next trade that we took again on the 11th here was on Kiwi CAD. Now, this trade here was on the watch list in the trading room. We were looking for a break of this flat level here. Once the level broke, we were then looking for a pullback into the moving averages, and got sort of positioned around this level here. So entry, stop above the high. Now, this one here I didn't manage to capture, but some of the participants in the trading room caught hold of this and had a very nice return on this trade. So this was good for a 2 or 3% return, depending upon how you traded it. But I haven't included the results of this trade into the weekly results because it wasn't a trade that I managed to capture. So if I had done this, we would have been up at least 4%, possibly 5%. The next trade was Aussie CAD. Now, this was a swing short trade. This was on the 4-hour time frame. You can see that we've got a pullback here within the context of the 4-hour trend back into a number of things here. We had a fib level, plus we had support and resistance structures here, and we had a sort of a doji candle, and it looks like the trade didn't sort of trigger, but it did actually trigger me in for a few pips, and then sort of promptly turned around and decided to move higher. So this was a losing trade sort of straight away. Now then we had euro against the Kiwi. This was on the 13th. This was a swing play. Again, we've been looking for opportunities on euro Kiwi for a long time, and the market sort of pulled back in on the 8-hour chart. We'd been sort of stalking this for a while, actually. We're stalking it for a swing play overnight on the Wednesday. Didn't materialize. We then had to take orders off before the European interest rates on the decision on the Thursday. After the interest rate decision came out, the setup validated again, and we took the trade to get sort of positioned. Now this market's still open, and this is the trade that we're still running over the weekend. The next trade that we had here on the 13th was CAD Swiss. It was an intraday trade short, but the decision was based on a swing play here on the daily. So we were looking at an early entry into a rollover here, or continuation of the short trend on CAD Swiss. So this is the daily time frame. You can see that the market sort of pulled back into sort of fib areas within these sort of moving averages, and the market was looking sort of rather bearish here across multiple time frames. So we actually took the trade on a 15-minute time frame. We were looking for a break of this blue line here, where we could see that there was some clear structure. The trend eventually sort of rolled over, broke the level, pulled back into it. We managed to sort of get bracketed around this area here, so entry below the low, stop above the high. It looks like the market sort of reached first target here pretty much sort of straight away, but that didn't. It actually missed the target by a pip or two. So pretty much the spread kept us out of booking for first target there. The market almost came back to breaching the stop level. I thought it would actually at that time, but then the technical level held and the market came down, and we got first target that evening, and then later on today the market continued its run and we got second target. So that was a good for a 2-target trade on CAD Swiss. Now the final trade here that I took today was on the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq was as with all US indices, have been very, very bullish, certainly in the latter half of the week. The Nasdaq has certainly been helped with the release of Apple's new products. We've got a break of or sort of structure here of a long trend forming on the lower time frames, and a break of this sort of sideways structure, and a pullback into the moving averages. So it was a straightforward moving average play here on the 15-minute time frame, and as you can see, it didn't quite reach first target before being stopped out. So I got taken out of this one, and that was the end of the trading week for me. So as I say, I haven't included the sort of 2 to 3% return that we captured on Kiwi CAD because that was a trade that I missed, but otherwise we've managed to capture 2% closed return so far, and holding one trade open over the weekend. So that's how we traded the week in the trading room. Hope it helps, and we'll certainly look forward to speaking to you next week. Bye for now.